Melissa Gilbert is protective of Little House on the Prairie, and rightly so. She played the central character of Laura Ingalls Wilder on the TV series loosely based on the author's semi-autobiographical books about growing up in the late 1800s, for its entire run, from 1974 to 1984. So when Megyn Kelly weighed in last month on a planned Netflix reboot, Gilbert had to speak out. "I really wasn't gonna have any comment, and I support the project," Gilbert said Tuesday on The View. "It's just like, different versions of Little Women. People's interpretation of a classic story. But when she said that, it shocked me, because you have to have watched Little House on the Prairie to understand what you're talking about." Kelly wrote on social media, where she tagged Netflix, "If you wokeify Little House on the Prairie, I will make it my singular mission to absolutely ruin your project." Gilbert took issue with that, writing in her own post, "Watch the original again. TV doesn't get too much more woke than we did. We tackled racism, addiction, nativism, anti-Semitism, misogyny, rape, spousal abuse and every other woke topic you can think of," she wrote. In the caption, she advised Kelly to watch any episode on any streaming platform anywhere in the world. And she reiterated that stance on the talk show. "The stories we told, we were a reflection of what was happening in America in 1974 through the lens of 1874, and, in a lot of ways, we're still there. And so that was all Michael Landon, He was telling the stories of the time. He was telling the stories of the veterans coming home from Vietnam. He was telling the stories of racism and chauvinism and anti-Semitism and nativism." Landon, who died in 1991, executive produced the NBC series, which he also regularly wrote and directed. The Bonanza alum also portrayed Laura's pa, Charles Ingalls, who was the on-screen moral center of the show. The people of their small town of Walnut Grove looked up to him for his courage to do what was right and champion honesty, fairness, and hard work for all. "I said, I am just not going to comment. I am just going to let it be because I want them to have their own thing. And if they need me later, we'll talk about it," Gilbert tells Entertainment Weekly. But then Megyn Kelly had to open her long pause face and make a "I am trying really hard lately not to use bad words, so I would just say a cotton-headed ninny Muggins comment about the reboot." Speaking to EU last week, Gilbert said she initially hadn't planned to say anything about the reboot, so the people involved in new project could have their own thing, she said. "And if they need me later, we'll talk about it." But then Megyn Kelly had to open her long pause face and make a "I am trying really hard lately not to use bad words, so I would just say a cotton-headed ninny Muggins comment about the reboot." Back on The View, when co-host Joy Behar complimented Little House, Gilbert thanked her. "I loved being a part of it, and I do think there's room for interpretation," said the actress, who has continued to be a part of fan conventions and reunions of much of the cast over the years. Netflix said its project would focus on the third of Wilder's 1930s-era books, which is titled simply Little House on the Prairie. The rebooted version will be part family drama, part epic survival tale, and part origin story of the American West, the streamer said in a news release. The series will offer a kaleidoscopic view of the struggles and triumphs of those who shaped the frontier. Gilbert has said she won't be involved this go-round.